Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... In some respects, reviewing gacha videos is a little bit like practicing Murphy's Law. You know, if something can go wrong in a video, it will eventually at some point, or in a series, I mean, something like that. That's what it feels like, at least. And so far, this show has actually proven me completely wrong in that aspect. I mean, the least effective episode in it so far was the first one, and then episode 2 was lived up to the hype that I gave it, and episode 3 continued along with that. The reason that I'm slightly concerned about this one is, well, because of the amazing streak that's been going on so far, and the fact that I'm just not accustomed to that. But yeah, but the reason I bring this up really is because it's entirely possible that there is a pattern emerging from episodes 2 and 3 that I'm picking up on. That pattern particularly is it seems like the focus and the journey appears to be on these different characters either being introduced in here or elaborating on in their one episode, and then it seems to have presented a different one afterwards. And then this one here, the title to me implied that there was going to be a different wolf and not necessarily the shadow from before. So the reason I wrote that in the description is because I was concerned about whether or not that's going to be like a constant thing of like, okay, we've got these characters here, but they're going to be meeting like several more and more and more like each time, and that would take up a long time in the episodes and possibly destroy the pacing of it. That's what I'm concerned is going to happen. That being said, because Bond did remind me of this, by the way, because I realized that for the first time in one of these episodes, I've actually, well, actually not the first time, no, House of Memories I'd heard of before, but yeah, I once again, I remembered that, yes, I've actually heard this song before, actually. But I mean, fairly recently. I mean, the song is several years old at this point. I just happened to have come across it recently. I was like, oh, wait a minute, okay. So I gave it a listen again and realized that, okay, if we're going with the idea of the chase sequence in the music video, or the idea of someone trying to hunt someone down, it could still apply to Shadow in this aspect, tracking Alessandro and Etsuko down. So it could be one of two things. So it might be that it's just a case of, okay, well, this thing it turns out that repeated pattern was not to be, and this is and I was getting worried for nothing. So that's what I'm thinking. It's big in gacha nowadays. I didn't hear it from a gacha video. I think it was just the algorithm served it to me. It wasn't from a gacha video specifically, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It is definitely the type of song that you would expect to appear in a gacha video. And like I said, this series harkens back to a lot of things that would have that would have appeared in a classic gacha video, right down to the story tropes, the ideas, the general edginess of it, the maturity behind it to a certain extent, and the songs being a driving force behind it, because there were series of mostly music videos that were sequential together, but sometimes even full-on series that would use songs in that particular way. That's actually the same like origin point that we get things like the gacha musicals nowadays, or even the Music Freaks. The Music Freaks incorporate the songs as musical numbers into its production rather than having them play alongside it. But you can see that those ideas like came from the same place. There's two different branches from the same idea. If anything, if we take the Music Freaks to be Disney, for example, then this would be DreamWorks when they originated, not necessarily now, because there seems to be something going on with DreamWorks again, but whatever. Not the point of this video. But yeah, I've made those comparisons before, I think. But so yeah, no no wonder it's and yes, all those things it takes from the old stuff, but it does it executes it so much better. Even the wolf itself is old enough to have been in classic gacha videos, were it more popular in gacha community at the time. So maybe that's partly deliberate as well, choosing songs from that particular era to tap into the nostalgia or something, or just simply to respond to people being like, this is what we could have been doing all along, which is a very me coded move, to be honest. So no wonder I've enjoyed this series that much. Uh, what's happening with DreamWorks? Well, I mean, first of all, they seem to have like that. And I mentioned this before, like a Walking Wednesday, but it's very weird to me how just like randomly on one day I was on Disney Plus and I started seeing a bunch of DreamWorks movies on there. It's like, wait a second, DreamWorks' whole thing was that they were created by somebody who I believe was either fired from Disney or left Disney, and then a lot of their early movies, including some of the ones on Disney Plus now, were made as protests to Disney. So Disney is not buying them. From however, DreamWorks is owned by Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers, there's had that whole thing of like, okay, who's like they put they of like a bunch of people of companies like vying for them to buy them or something. I think one of them was Disney. They went with Netflix, I think, but that was that was part of it. So maybe they don't reflect current DreamWorks and Disney. They reflect 1990s DreamWorks and Disney. Let's go with that. Those are the two diverging branches right now. So yeah, maybe yeah, that's, I guess. So with that analogy successfully destroyed, let's go ahead and go back into this video. Without further ado, on with the review. Ollie, I didn't see you there. I just remember what voice I used for him this second, so I'm glad that like that memory kicked back in again. Hello, it's midnight. You have just in time. I remember this character's voice that I did. Welcome back. But I want to work for DreamWorks one day. I can't if it's gone. I didn't say it was gone. I just said it would be under new ownership. I didn't say they were disappearing necessarily. Although who knows? Maybe Netflix will rebrand them or something if that's the case. But that's like down the line to figure out. I don't know. Considering that Pixar still exists under Disney, they think the name would stay the same probably. So I guess you're probably fine in that respect. That being said, I don't remember the last time DreamWorks did anything 2D. So as far as that goes, I'm sure that maybe maybe we'll start making things like Voon, for example, just with a good story if you want that. But anyway, wouldn't say free, more like under new management. Okay, yeah. I forget exactly. I think we were still in 1967, but we weren't. Oh no, was it 64 before? I forget the exact because I don't know, it could have been 65. Either. I tell you what, if dropping Nimona is is the thing that annoyed you about, well, one of the things that annoyed you about Disney, well, I mean, I guess you must really enjoy Netflix then. So if they get Warner Brothers, then problem solved, I suppose. I guess so. Disney buys it. I'm starting my own animation company. So you're going to do exactly what DreamWorks did, what Jeffrey Katzenberg did to make DreamWorks. Fantastic. I'd say history repeats itself, but DreamWorks is already a history repeats itself from Don Bluth Animation Studios because, obviously Don Bluth himself was, also, I think, fired from Disney. And he became their fiercest rival in the 70s. I guess they didn't learn that with Jeffrey Katzenberg. I don't know. I thought the receptionist ponytail was somehow defying gravity. Yeah. At least they hopefully aren't homophobic. Couldn't say. That is where my knowledge of these company dealings ends, I'm afraid. don't know. That being said, um one thing that Era pointed out about this, sorry to derail the stream again, it's like something I don't get to talk about that often. One thing, while we were preparing for an occult episode at one point, I wasn't really engaging in this conversation because I was, setting up the stream frantically, as I often do. But Era discussed the fact that that She-Ra is the 2018 She-Ra specifically is leaving Netflix on February 20th, which is also the reason I've been rewatching it before that happens. That went to the whole conversation about, oh yes, the streaming services like to parade the idea that you don't need physical media, just the streaming services, but then they take off things that they made, so you can't access it anywhere else. Which, yeah, but actually, you know what? She-Ra also is a DreamWorks production. Now I think about it. Anyway, whatever. And one thing that the one thing that they said was that She-Ra is available in physical media from Netflix, because that's how they started as well. Netflix, in 1997, also they still started with selling DVDs specifically, I'm pretty sure. And then they switched to streaming after, like, in 2011, I think it was, or something like that. Anyway, I'm rambling again. But yeah, physical media, Netflix DVD service still exists. But yeah, you can only get apparently from seasons 1 to 3 currently, or according to Era anyway. And the reason, and Era is convinced that the reason you can't get seasons 4 and 5 is because they are the ones where they are openly gay. Now, I just rewatched season 4, and I have no idea what they're talking about in regards to season 4. Season 5, I can absolutely see, but 4, unless I'm missing some incredibly key subtext, I don't personally see it. Apart from a couple of characters blushing, but that's mostly around characters that I know don't end up together, and I know just stay friends. So I'm not sure if that's it went to go anywhere. I don't know. Couldn't say. But that's so if you asked Era specifically, their take on Netflix would probably be that there is potentially some homophobia going on there, at least in the physical media distribution department people. I don't know. But considering that I don't see what they're talking about regards to season 4, I don't know if that's the case. So take that with a grain of salt. Maybe Eric can let you know a bit more about that, because, like I said, I didn't engage in the conversation because I was, tinkering away. So that's all. So I'm the same department as you. They're not homophobic, hopefully. So there we go. How did I get a history of Netflix animation studio? So it's been pointed out before that my critical mindset was, I mean, I always kind of had it because my first ever review was, I guess, like a verbal one I gave of a play that I saw when I was like 10. But it got exacerbated when I started watching Nostalgia Critic back in 2016, which is coincidentally around the same time I started making reviews / reactions on YouTube. Go figure. So I learned a lot of company related things from Nostalgia Critic, and I guess from other recommendations alongside Nostalgia Critic ever since then. So I just kind of absorbed a lot of that. That's what happened. Minus the DreamWorks thing, and minus the Warner Brothers Netflix thing, because that was just recent new information. So, I don't know. There you go. I got to unload that info somewhere, which is always fun. Anyways, back to the video. We're like half a minute in. What happened here, people? Anyway. How are you feeling? Is this the reason my critique a month ago got 100%? Am I exposed to a Gacha review and the guys caused me to ascend? Oh, 100% school aside. What? Okay, wow. Fantastic. If only I started making these videos sooner, it would have helped with my school assignments too. But I love that. That's wonderful. I think Emily at one point said that said that, like, that they got higher marks on something Greek mythology related because of Mrs. Dysart's teachings in Mutant Girl, which I was just really happy with. Because that's what I wanted, a series set in a school where the characters learn something. Finally. Anyway. And it turns out Rosa Coles beat me to it by like a day, but whatever. I'm sure you'll get used to it. I should have pointed out I've had half my dinner tonight, so I'm half fed, Jacob. That might explain some things. Anyway. Oh, I really people think I can listen to their subs, I give them money, and they're so grateful, so happy. It's half fed. Oh, I didn't have time to eat all of my dinner, so I ate half of it. That's what I meant. Anyway, naturally, I'm expected to get paid back. My charity can only go so far. I think you meant to say naturally, I expect to be paid back. One thing I would have done here, by the way, is like have this character's eye. I guess, like, not always like permanently like that, but also like by like shuffling around a little bit. That's kind of like what we do in that situation. Like look for some means of escape or averting of the gaze, even if it's coming back. Just so they're not entirely frozen here, because that's not how the eye would be in that situation. But yeah. And I hear nothing from those people. Okay, I just realized something here. So I pointed out that, like, how much I love the lighting in this series particularly, and lighting is something that I've played around with a little bit in Gacha, because there's one Gacha tutorial that I saw talking about how to actually use how to use an art program of some kind, like Fire Alpaca in my case, and simply like use like solid colors, turn the opacity down so you can actually just use those different things as sources of different colors of light, which is something that I did in the remake of episode 6 of Mutant Girl, actually. Particularly for my scenes, some of the ones done by other people, depending on if it was appropriate, because most of them were broad daylight, so not really. But I bring that up only because it seems like, based on like the speech bubble here, it looks like that's the same methodology but more polished. Because in my case, it was just it was just a crude layer basically. That was all I kind of really did. But in this one, you can see like the actual rays, behind it. Yeah, basically. Or not behind it, in front of it. It's like got like actual lines to it, because that's where they from the window source specifically. So, and so on one hand, I think probably the speech bubble, I guess if you're going to do that, it probably should have been like exempted. I don't know if this well, actually this creator's done masking before, so it probably should have been like masked around, because I don't know why the speech bubble would be lit the same way as a character would be, because it's not an in-universe component. But also, I am grateful in a way, because it also exposed the method behind this basically. But yeah, lighting, dollar dodge, and linear burn over gradients that your best friend. That's really all there is to it. I mean, obviously it's not the only method behind it, but that's what that's why I decided. But yeah, all right. Okay. I'm playing a current series better to character death and make the wife of the villain be revealed to be the actual main villain. I have no idea how to write that. I'll tell you how. It's called Tenet. There's a scene in Tenet where the protagonist tracks down somebody who is supposed to meet some sort of, like, I think it was like a crime boss or something or whatever. And it turns out that the husband was like the face of the company. The crime boss was there, but then so that the actual boss, the wife, will be able to operate in the shadows. And I think, the protagonist like figures it out or something, or the husband was shot and things had ceased or whatever it would have been. Not really sure. But that's so there is at least a part of it where it does seem like that. And if you do want to find that aspect of it, then I'm pretty sure it's in like the first third of the movie, so you don't have to watch all of Tenet to get to that scene if you want inspiration for that. I don't know. Either that or just go with like old school video games. You defeat the final boss. Well, guess what? Second surprise boss fight. Hope you didn't use all of your E-tanks. One of those. So either source or both, I would say. Already. No phone calls, no letters. Sometimes they even change address. He's not like the protagonist leaving in this case. Yeah. Can you believe it? The nerves of some people. So naturally, I pay them a little visit. Just to take care of things. The first boss, Addiction Steam Train music plays ominously. Yeah, you know what? Actual Addiction plays as the first boss soundtrack, then the second wave is just the Steam Train version. Right down to the boss fight taking place on an actual steam train. There you go. Video game final aspect of a video game solved for someone. I don't know. It's giving FNAF where Thor's the games. William is the villain for Henry to burn everything in FNAF 6. I'm not sure if that counts in terms of like, sequels of things versus what I meant was like, in like older video games, older than the FNAF franchise. You would have a boss fight and then a surprise boss fight immediately afterwards, rather than, over the course of several games. That's what I meant. It's really too bad. Just when I started to think you and I could become good friends. Even no point is when the hero dies except the heroes in that fight. Well, I mean, I guess that was the point, right? To get rid of the heroes, because what is FNAF if not incredibly depressing? But now, I need a more, please. My men took such good care of you that I don't think I need to tell you anymore, right? What's underneath those bandages? What are those bandages concealing? Speaking of that, by the way, I do appreciate that, I do appreciate the effort to, I guess, honestly, the attempt to have, like, I guess, like, the belt in this case was probably to cover up, like, the midriff, because I guess I guess that shirt doesn't go all the way down. Maybe, I guess that was the idea. Obviously, Gacha Life 2, you can adjust the length, and that's not an issue, but, that's, I guess, in this situation, it would be. And then also the, like, I guess, like, I don't know what to call it other than, like, a maid choker, I guess. A choker you often see on maid outfits. I don't know what else to describe it. To cover up the neck, basically, to show, like, a full body cast. There's some resourcefulness behind that. Okay, I'll appreciate that. And what is gacha creation if not cutting corners where the app has shortcomings when it becomes necessary? Again, really feels like a classic gacha in that sense. How's the man allowed a gun in a hospital room? I don't think they search him on the way in. That's probably what happened. Unless it's a mob hospital, in which case you never know. The water gun, you stole that from Poundland. No, that's the excuse he gave so he could, be let in. I mean, I guess even if he's not planning to fire it, he probably could just take that in and pretend. But yeah. He's with the shirts and Gacha comes on and reach the pelvis, and you have to add a belt because the outfit looks like a one-piece onesie. Yeah. I guess that's probably why they have the the shirt length thing now in Gacha Life 2. See, Luname does fix a few things sometimes in new games. Anyway, you'd surely agree with me if you could remove that. Okay, I can I guess it should be noted that the EEG is, you know, it is increasing. I guess probably implying via the sound that he's getting more and more scared, actually, because his heart's beating faster. There goes. Give Lunime so much credit. Hey, look, that's what I do. I give credit where credit is due, and I give critique where critique is due. That's the nature of my everything in terms of, you know, in terms of gacha stuff, including the company that makes it. This is where you would have like the more the more like solid lights or like the lines in Pharaoh Packer, as I mentioned before, the non-lines. I mean, anyway, a homeless kid just took down Tanaka. Well, at least that's dealt with. He's a brown-haired guy with a young. Oh, okay. I gave two characters the same voice I was not supposed to. And yeah, like I said before, I wish that you know, like the eye would have like moved around a little bit more. I guess, although that is also a Gacha Life 2 thing, so you know, same issue applies. Believer in Gasoline presents a restaurant. Anyway, you sure we're both hungry? I shouldn't have given him the boss's voice. That was my bad. It must be hard living on Earth in one condition. I'm not. Okay, really like the winking there. That was really smoothly edited as well. Again, presumably this is not even Gacha Life 2. That right there looked very clean. Fading screenshots. How just by looking? The strike against demons has put most of us into homelessness. If anyone does remember, that happened in episode 2 when they started to say it was illegal for demons to work certain jobs. Most jobs, I imagine, but it didn't specify which ones, other than the one that obviously Alessandro was working in. Anyone just tell me you're hiding your horns under a baseball hat, but not buying it. Top hat at the minimum. Yeah, very true. Or then again, Etsuko seems to be incapable of hiding her hair underneath a hood. In another classic gacha thing that everyone forgets, hair doesn't poke out like that. Especially those forehead. How can you cover your horns? Magic. There you go. What can I say? I'm magically glamorous. There is actually a college of glamour as a bard class in D&D, which I should have given Nathaniel. Not gonna lie. Oh, I guess because I didn't. Yeah, because it was the 2014 version. All I had was College of Law. You know, if I ever play Nathaniel again, I'll give him College of Glamour. Anyway, I'm guessing you're not. No. I don't ever plan on ever going to be good at level. I guess not that line. I need to stay healthy for her, especially with my eyesight. Okay, reason he says that again, just a quick reminder. Apparently, the more that a demon uses their magic coming from the sun, the worse their eyesight gets. So you know, him trying to learn more magic is going to make it worse for him. So there we go. Nathaniel was too busy with the wild magic. Yeah, that was famously decided after I made the character. If anyone doesn't remember how that went down, before we started our what was supposed to be our test session, but ended up being our session 0, which we pivoted from. Vin just decided to roll a d6, and whichever number it landed on a certain person. They would have wild magic, and it landed on Nathaniel. So that wasn't even me deciding that. I didn't even know what wild magic was at the time. That was just a mechanic they wanted to explore. So, and then it became And then because of everything I do in D&D, I yes-anded it to the point where it became a source of like, okay, he has no idea at first, and then he has baggage about it. Yep, there we go. Well, there you go. The more you know. I'm full of I'm full of animation company facts and also D&D stories. There you go. Subscribe, people. Shitty too. Yeah. I like how we could tell with Alessandro, but couldn't tell with Etsuko, who was right there. Even though it's like, ah, yes, I could tell at a glance. By the way, was it? It's like people who say they have a strong gaydar and they're only accurate like 50% of the time. Anyway, I was told you finished him off with remarkably with a rock. What are you, Jason Bourne? Any neighborhood streamer with an odd Avantris quote every now and then. Yeah, true. That's your first kill? No, I was part of the demon military. I've seen and done some insane things. I don't want to. I guess that's why we didn't see them. You're right. Everyone has their demons. What an interesting phrase for a demon to say. Okay, sure. Tomatoes in Mac. I can tell someone's gay the second they kiss someone of the same sex. It's wild. It's just like Bakura and Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridged. It's my gaydar. I used to find gay people. Why? I guess I'm just very lonely. Demons? Anyways, could you kill again? What a twist. Get it, demons? I'm so funny. Could you kill again? Do it. Do it now. Yeah, I would thought it'd be derogatory as well, but I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where because he's a demon himself, he reclaimed it or something. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, if you want to keep your sister safe, I could provide for that. I've got a family that I keep safe at all costs in extreme. If you prove yourself useful, I'll take care of both of you for a lifetime. One thing that was noticing, by the way, I was wondering why his eyes were flickering before. I guess probably due to the magic as well. I thought they just like gradually get worse all the time, but I guess they have like random bursts basically. That's a nice thing to the detail to have, and a thing that's very difficult to keep track of. Depending on the circumstance. If you prove yourself useful, how do I make myself useful? Don't. That fell in the that fell in the chips. What are you talking? Why? Why would you do that? That's gonna get greasy now. She was a beloved friend of mine who was fond of gambling, and it's also mostly cropped out of the screen. But I'm guessing we're gonna get right on this. Etsuko, you with us? Honestly, you know what? If anyone's gonna zone out, it's gonna be the kid. Yeah, that makes sense. I gave her my trust, and she lost it, along with 7,480,000 yen. You know what? Give me a second here, because I do this every time something that's like this comes up. Let me just check here. So let me see. So 7,480,000 yen. 1960. Let's go with 1964 because this is a little bit further back in time. To 2026. Why is it on my channel dashboard now? I pressed something wrong. Your search did not match any documents. Okay, great. I'm so glad when that happens. I did this with like the Grinch video. Uh, oh, for crying out loud. Only, oh, this is Bank of England. That's why it's not working. How old are you? Being born in 1964. Yeah, I can calculate that just fine. No, all I'm getting is like from ones for British pounds for some reason. I don't need those. That is useless to me at this current moment. It's uploaded a post. It's like people who make a Facebook post when they really mean to search something up. Anyway, never mind. But point is today, I guess that'd be, a lot of money. I don't know when the devaluation of the yen happened. It was sometime after this, I think. I don't know. You think she can make a fool out of me and our friendship? And obviously, I can't let her go unpunished. If you take care of her for me, I'll wholeheartedly consider helping you. Wholeheartedly consider. I don't know. I would go for something a bit more solid here, I think. $50,000. Okay. Fair enough. I was trying to convert it into like I was trying to convert it into like like a more recognizable currency for us. I meant more like, figure out the inflation rate. That's what I was trying to do. Along with 600,000 yen just to lighten the load. I guess to round up to an almost even 8 million. Yeah. Oh, okay, that worked. Just okay, I guess we're not going to see that scene. I should point out this video is half as long as the other videos are, so I guess we're not going to go into the details. I guess we don't need to see it. So yeah, fair enough. Anyway, that's great, Al. Really great. Oh, hold a second. Okay, here I gotta point out. A very, very interesting detail. Let me just quickly make sure I've got my dates right. Okay, perfect. Okay, so notice the two women here. They're very clearly wearing like the Gacha equivalent of the Playboy bunny outfit, which incidentally, another thing, first ever outfit I think to be copyrighted, I believe. And that bunny outfit was invented, I just checked this right now, in 1960. So new concept, but is being applied here appropriately. So there you go. Kudos on the historical accuracy of Playboy bunny outfits. Never thought I'd say that sentence ever, but here we are. Although I don't know how I'm supposed to believe it's a lock of hair. That's also very true, I would say more substantial as that was all that was left from, I don't know, when Etsuko ate the corpse or something. Next time, bring me a bigger souvenir. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, careful, you almost punched her in the eye there. I'll train you! Welcome to the family. Look at that, your very own room. I know it's not the best, but this will have to do. And to think of what in the Peter Pettigrew? I mean, that would be a little more substantial, I guess. I've seen in certain things that, they use like the head as a particular example. That'd be very difficult to do walking into a club like that, to be honest. There's only so many times you can use that strategy. And, Alita Battle Angel worked out a way to circumvent that in the right circumstances. But, I digress. Love that movie. Anyway. Hey, don't make that face. I'll find us a great house, you'll see. Soon I'll be able to afford a house just like our old one. With a garden, an even bigger room for you. Would you like that? Do you remember the smell of brown flowers, Mr. Frodo? And the cherries will be in bloom. Oh, that was strawberries, wasn't it? I can't remember the exact quote. Anyway. You could bring the boss anybody part and she could still be alive unless it's her heart, obviously. Yeah. Do you remember the taste of strawberries? Anyway. Etsuko, you're happy, right? Okay, you've got this quote far more down than I have. I'll be gone all day, and I don't want to be alone without you. How's that different from what you normally are? Also, I wonder where that light source is coming from that was, there before. Because, I mean, this window here would be, like, way more sealed, but that's coming from the ceiling, but the guard was limited from the side. I don't know. Anyway. A veil between me and the wheel of fire. Once and for all. I can't carry the burden for you, sir, but I can carry you. There you go. There's a Nostalgia Critic scene, by the way, where Doug and Rob recreate that, and Rob just gradually gets more and more in costume as Sam, the more that he continues that. Anyway. Oh, okay, yep, so he just swallowed a cigarette again. Again, classic Gacha. They never know what to do with those. Anyway. No, cut off his hand. Is that that is the same guy? No, he's got the same haircut. No, he is the one I gave the voice to before. He is the Don. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Send the nice little package to his family. I should have been doing this the whole time. All the things, fan. Smoking? Yeah, I'm I definitely have the average amount of knowledge of taming the bad boy. Anyway. Package? Yeah, like a souvenir. That's what I said before, right? But anyway. For you. It must have been hard living with this secret. I wonder, is that still the same gun that, the guy from episode 2 told him to fire? I'm not sure, but maybe. You're both so young. What a shame to carry such a heavy burden. I can't carry that burden for you, but I can carry you. It was meant to be. The derailing was meant to be. Well, thankfully, I'm here to take care of you both. Not in that way. What? I told you, you're both family now. Your secret's safe with me. Oh, that's right, your. I don't know why I said it like that. Unless you have to go back to the streets. I think it was probably just, knee-jerk response aiming the gun because Etsuko might have been in danger, more so than he was trying to directly threaten you. Although now I'm wondering why he's still holding it up, to be honest. He very much agreed to this whole thing. Also, is it the same room or not? It feels very different. Maybe it's just the lighting because of the time of day. But I don't know. What are we reviewing today? Lord of the Wolf. Okay, there we go. By the way, you'd like to ask what we're reviewing today? You could just the title of the video is always there. So, I don't know why people ask that question. Good. Now let's get moving. That plot twist, it's good when you pretend to be asleep. It was that whole thing, I don't know. I can't stop thinking about these people, man. Don't panic, kid. A drink keeps the girls quiet. You'll learn. That's what they call it, spirits. Come on, it was right there. Honestly, whenever I do clickbait people, it works. I don't do it often, but when I do. There's always someone who's like, "Hey, you know, that Walking Wednesday title seems very strange. What's that all about?" It's like, well, it's there for a reason. You look beat, Al. Drinking like that every night will kill you. I know it was my recommendation, but I'm gonna retract that statement now. But you've earned it. You've been good to me. Say, maybe one of my girls could help, eh? Hey, one of the girls! Get him another drink. I got plenty. Anyone you want. He was having a higher tolerance to alcohol. I mean, yeah, it is a famously, you know, sinful thing to engage in, according to most texts. So yeah, that's very true, actually. Andrea's new recruits are all brutes. Oh wait, no, wrong voice. I don't know who's talking right now. Okay. Every week he drags in more. Like we don't have enough already. What's this? A character with a bruised eye and no eye patch? I jinxed it, didn't I? Alright. Just do it. Go on. Go on. You know you want to. You know you want to. Give her the eye patch. I can Anyway. Sit. I'll find something cold. It'll help with the swelling. You'll be sore, but your vision looks clear. Good news, not a demon. Also has moved the other eye now. Actually, again, another thing I pointed out in the very first Gacha review I ever did of Taming the Bad Boy was, you know, the fact that if you turn a character around like this, you have to remember to switch the bruised eye because Gacha will laterally invert everything on a character, so it will appear on the wrong side. And the latest one, what's his name? Some Italian thing? He's a demon. Oh wow, I called it with the oh wait, no, Alessandro's, yeah, of course. Please, a demon? What would a demon be doing here? He's just some poor kid. Unlike most demons who are filthy wretch, apparently. Doesn't look poor to me. Doesn't poor to me, he's terrifying. Everyone says he's Andrea's favorite. I'm running out of voices. Have you heard of his kill? Wait, whoa. Hold on. There we go. Have you heard of his kill count? I don't want him anywhere near me. Me neither. I'm still here from the last one. It's okay, girls. I'll do it. I thought he was supposed to choose which one, but okay. I guess he doesn't know any of them, so I don't know. Oh, okay. So, focus. Two things. One, didn't notice that. Well done for pointing that out, Bon. Yep. Bringing the big guns, Fred. Actually, that makes a lot of sense for this scene based on Fred's backstory. So yeah, okay. So here it is. I'm also noticing that another thing, like in classic Gacha, because again, I do recognize this song. I can already tell it's slowed down. And that's usually done either to avoid copyright or just because it was, people like to, use night call / day call versions. But I'm pretty sure this is a copyright situation. Which does mean we might be okay to actually play this. And if not, I'll just take it out of the final product and I'll just do the whole, YouTube remove music thing. So, yeah, I was about to say, I think it does mean we don't have to mute it. That being said, I'm not sure if this song particularly, because of its chase scene nature, its tempo works to its advantage under normal circumstances. So I'm a little bit skeptical on how it's going to turn out now that it's slowed down, if it's going to have the same efficiency or not. But I guess we'll find out.
It's nice to see you again. Andrea has to take care of you.
Look, this isn't necessary. He just doesn't want me drunk. Even though he suggested that I should drink, but so it's kind of his fault, but anyway. What is this yet? For some reason. Honestly, you should. As long as you're okay with like violence and mature themes, check this series out from the beginning. We're episode 4 now. You will not be disappointed at all. Also, yeah, I just turned the video down right now.
Shh. It's okay. I can make you feel better. I'm a registered nurse. I can extract the alcohol from you. We need someone to fix the lights, though. That was kind of weird.
What's your name?
My name is Wolfina. I'm the wolf. We're not allowed to share names. You can call me employee number 496.
What if I want to see you again?
I'll be there.
That's not foreshadowing. That's not foreshadowing at all, is it? Oh no. Oh no, not Fred, you've doomed yourself. Oh, okay. And again, montage now is going to be a little bit faster because the video is also not as long. Unlike the song. Anyway, I might as well Johnny drink and say, okay, hold on a second. Wait a minute. He just said that Andrea doesn't want Alessandra to be drunk anymore, but then 2 frames later, just goes like, oh yeah, okay, I guess I'll join you for drinking. What do you mean? What do you mean? Actually, oh, okay, so that's why. So it's a different night, but also, okay, sure, all right. Wait, so hold on, we came at that one. Wait, so they're still no, hold on. They're still talking about it like it just happened. Are we flashing back now to the previous scene, even though it seemed like it was a different night when Andrea was talking to Alessandro a second ago? What is happening right now? Yeah, I'm out of my head. You and me both, song. Anyway.
He was very gentle. He was also on the bottom, so I did most of the work, I guess, probably.
Maybe I should go sing.
If you want, but I'd rather you rest, because your last cut was quite deep. And your stitches might reopen. Told you I was a nurse. I applied those.
I swear, I may not have done any decency. Like, why would you bring a knife to a a night of passion? That's actually a very good question. just in the middle of amorous activity and something like, ow, what was that? Wait, what do you mean? Oh, my knife! Yes, I forgot to remove this. Anyways, please continue. Yep, there you go. Exactly that. Anyways, yeah. Yes, the men aren't taught decency. Gotta agree with that. Was that a cut on her lip? Is that what the cut was? A freckle or something? Oh, and she's covering the mouth now, so I can't tell. Oh well. I know, right? They're such jerks. They need punching bags more than us. I'm glad you found a nice man, Yuko. Oh, her name's Yuko. Okay, so we do have a name now. These assassins have no manners. Yep, that's very true. That's what we'll be expecting. Yeah, I mean, based on the collars that they all seem to have and the way that they treat like the wolf, the actual wolves from the previous episode, they might be here against their will. They might not be. I don't quite know.
Yeah, I guess he's nice. Hey, I told you I'd be back.
But you still don't want to tell me your name?
I mean, it's just protocol, really. I told you, we're not allowed.
Oh, and you stepped into the pink light specifically. If that had been a red light, it would have been perfect, you know, metaphorical symbolism. But hey. Oh, it is actually undoing his. Oh, okay, that's also quite good.
If you recognize it and decide to track down our families.
I mean, I don't know. How common is Yuko as a name in... I've lost track of where we are right now. I think we might be in Tokyo already, right? So the name Yuko in Tokyo, one of the most populated cities in the world, is probably... Yeah, I don't know how populated Tokyo was in 1967, but probably decently, right? Or whatever year we're in right now. Why would I do that?
Some men have nothing better to do.
That does raise a good question, you know, incidentally. It's like, why would you decide, unless they get like a thrill out of tormenting someone who's already in, you know, probably like held captive to, you know, to please them, basically. They don't really get anything else out of it other than like other thrills. So I guess that's probably it. I don't know. Will I give him a fake name? Sit-up's asking.
My name is Stacy Fake Name. Nothing suspicious about that. Especially when we can't grant all the requests.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, I see now. Retaliation. Got it. Yeah, okay. The name like the wolf. Yeah, well, she doesn't ask for his name, but yeah, maybe he could be called the wolf to her.
Now, what can I do for you tonight? We're starting the exact same way we were last time, but yeah, sure.
Something's happened. He's sustained a fight.
What's wrong? Are you hurt? I remind you, I'm a nurse. That's totally gonna be canon now.
Nothing. I've just been hurt like that. Hey, wait. Wait, hold on. She grabbed his cheek to pull off his shirt. Yeah, I would say, hey, wait as well. I don't want to rip my clothes like I need those.
I see.
Oh, okay. So we also should point out, you know, very much usually would be a Gacha Life 1 thing to be able to adjust a shirt to the skin tone like this. And yes, I know there's like, but even Gacha Club has some security around this. So, well, again, it's also an edited image anyway because of the gashes. So, you know, it just seamlessly blend in. I need to acknowledge that. So yeah. Quit the nurse thing.
What's the problem? I can have a side hustle. You know how much Andrea pays? That's not enough.
From the whipping last episode. Potentially. Although you have to wonder why he didn't bring that up, you know, last time that they were together. Unless the montage is happening simultaneously and we're going through this way. And once again, we're learning about a new character that's been introduced in this episode and is the focus of the song. I guess so. That, but instead of like those all these characters doing just like differently, they're just introducing them, but like we're going back to the same a few events potentially. You know what? I'll come back to the end of the video because there'll be a lot to talk about after that.
It's still spitting blood. Kind of. I'll stitch it back for you.
See, I knew it. I knew she was the one who applied the stitches. You see, secret nurse, secret nurse, secret nurse.
That's canon now, Bun. That's canon now.
Oh, I love this show. I willed it into existence. Yes, yes, I did. You know how I said before that this definitely that in certain ways this show feels me coded. I think this might have been one of them. This at that beginning and now it's come back. I don't know. Oh, good lord. You carry needle and thread in there?
Hey, some people carry knives. It's not that weird, okay? Jeez. I usually put it away, but I got distracted. You won't rat me out, will you?
I mean, is it against the rules? I guess? Maybe? No, of course not. I did. Also, who would I rat out? I don't know your name.
I understand.
How are you so good at this?
I'm out of the stream as I'm done with the review. If there's a joke that they can show, I'm gonna make it so. I'm digging a hole and I'm jumping below. Now this is probably will get worse. Luckily, I'm a nurse.
A nurse? Yeah, fancy that. No one would have guessed that, would they?
Well, my skills are still of use here, especially if I can live another day.
Superhead and Yellow Jackets predict the slot machines at casino. Yeah, the FBI will find me. Yeah, no, that will be the chase sequence. I've got the perfect music to escape them now. Probably should have taken his hair out the way, to be honest, like his braid, but anyway.
Don't worry, a lot of men get punished by Andrea too when they disobey.
How do you know?
Dude, you know what? You know who I work for in my profession, right? It's obvious. I've been here for a while.
Okay, hold on a second. Wait, just a smidge. So she told one of her co-workers, right? She told her, "You've just had your stitches applied. Don't go in. Don't go into entertain this guy because you might open up the stitches again." But yet she decides, okay, he's fine, even though I literally just put the stitches on. No. They're fine to reopen. Of course. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Little bit of a double standard there, Yuko. Not good at a medical profession, just saying. You don't want to know. You don't want to check on your brother right now. You don't want to see this. Oh no. Oh, okay. Thank goodness. I was worried when she teleported. She was going to be like, "Hey, big bro, where are you?" Okay, I'm out of here. But no, thankfully, not what happened. Sure. And good idea to use them as well, I guess technically extras in this scene because they've already got designs. Good recycling. Oh, and I guess I guess Etsuko was like, friends. Otherwise, I don't know how she ended up. She was projected before. I guess she tracked them down. Was like, hey, guess what? My brother finds you cool. I'm gonna come here myself. All right, sure. We're almost done, but yes, thank you for joining us regardless. Heinz, they're not. Do you work here? Have you seen her before? The answer's probably not, right? She'd be in uniform otherwise. You're all wearing the same thing, which I commented earlier because it was historically accurate, and you're saying she. Okay, anyway. How do I move on? How do I walk with my Chromebook today? I mean, at some point the stream's going to end, so maybe at that point. Anyway, Alessandro, my brother does. Who? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so they're allowed to say. Hold on. So they just learned that Etsuko's brother is one of their clients, but they're able to say one of their friends, one of their coworkers' names to the sister of one of the clients they're not supposed to reveal their names to. Again, what is the procedure here? What are the rules in place? What are the rules? Her boyfriend? What are you doing here? Do you have any idea what kind of place this is? Yeah, a cosplay convention where all these bunny girls seem to be good friends. I wanted friends, obviously. I do love how they just stood. I was like, "Yep, we're out of here." Honestly, good. It makes sense as a defense mechanism. If they deal with angry men all the time and they're not the target, they don't want to be around. So yeah, that makes sense. You could get trafficked if I don't watch over you. Wait, hold on. So, wait, is this not Andrea's place? Because Andrea wanted to protect them. So, is this? Oh, is this like a business partnership or something? Because they said before, he said to Andrea before, can I spend the night with one of your girls, right? Implying that they work for him. But so Andrea already said he's not going to do anything to Etsuko. So why would he traffic Etsuko in his own establishment? That doesn't. What? It's been a week since I heard from you. Wait, really? Okay, that feels out of character for him, even if he's, involved with Yuko. And of course, we have them, falling out in the episode, even though it's right at the end rather than the beginning this time. It's, I don't care. Hey, no. Oh, that should have been Fred. Oh, well. Hey, no men allowed, and don't scream at the girl. I'm going to continue to yell at you, but it's so indistinct, it doesn't matter what they say, and she's trying to protest, but it doesn't matter. Oh, wait, I think she's coughing, actually. And Yuko looked at the fourth wall and was like, well, should
I go and help her out? Looks like your old pal Etsuko's in a bit of a sticky wicket. What should we do? Give her medical assistance? Well, boy howdy, I guess I better do that. Drop it.
Who was she saying that to? And she was looking towards the girls, right? But she's not talking to them right now, nor is Etsuko around or anything.
You should spend less time with me and more with your sister.
Honestly, that's fair. Don't make me feel bad. I practically lived my whole life by her side. Okay, I can see, again, I said before, I think I've said the last like 3 reviews. The best way to have conflict between characters is when you can understand both of their perspectives, but also why they clash with each other. And this situation, I get it, because I've mentioned before, one of my favorite Percy Jackson characters is Rachel Elizabeth Dare. And the reason for that is because she serves a very, I guess, unsung narrative purpose. The reason that Percy really enjoys hanging out with her so much specifically is it's not just because, oh yes, love triangle in, young adult book or, slash kids books, depending on your interpretation of where Percy Jackson falls on the age demographics or whatever. Doesn't matter. I mean, who knows? It might have been part of that, but really the thing is that Rachel, up until she becomes involved with like missions and such, she really serves as like, the as just the mortal friend who's like apart from everything else that's going on. Again, until she isn't. But that's one thing that I really like. I like introducing characters I now refer to as Rachels into stories because yes, sometimes the characters do need a breather. It's the same concept behind a beach episode, right? The idea of like these characters need a breather from whatever's going on, so they just like hang out, at the beach for an episode, as the name implies. And it's definitely it's a welcome character study, as well as just a sense of, okay, they get some form of relief, which is in itself a form of escapism for those people who feel like they don't receive that at any point. So, I get why, considering that Etsuko is the reason behind everything, is he's so intrinsically tied to what's going on with him and why he's forced into the life that he's leading right now. I get why someone who, even though she works for the same person, feels so far apart from that line of work and from everything else, and is simply, in his corner. I get it completely, Does it still feels a bit out of character. He never goes to interact with Etsuko specifically. Like, I would have thought that, she would have seen him at least a few times in the week, even if it's, less than usual, and she was just curious to see where he was going. That would still have worked. But everything else, I can 100% understand. Yeah. The fourth wall instead of Major wanting how he BBC Sherlocked her profession before the. You're still on that, geez. That's gonna go down in history, isn't it? She can spend some time on her own. Yeah, and he hasn't internalized that. Oh, and I guess this would also make sense.
I'd give everything in the world to see my sister again.
Yeah, she did mention that, their families could be tracked down if people found out their names, which means that they probably themselves can't go back to them, So yeah, actually, again, you can understand from her perspective now why she's so about, why you avoiding the family that you have, when you have it. Absolutely. Yeah.
She has marks on her skin. Have they been treated?
You noticed?
I didn't go to med school, but I've studied a lot. Independently, I guess.
Sure. That works.
They look like demon markings.
I would have said here that she didn't finish medical school, but she started going. That's what I would have gone with. Myself, good credit. Okay, fine. Because you said yeah. Demon medicine?
You guys are mostly human, right? Well,
See? Exactly that, yeah.
we're all from the same species, aren't we?
I guess yeah. So, see, here's the thing. Scientifically, the way to determine if something is a different species, official definitions would say that if two animals are able to produce fertile descendants, then they're part of the same species. That's why you can technically have offspring from a horse and a donkey. That's what mules are, but mules are infertile, so they don't count. So horse and donkeys don't count as the same species. So that's that's the official rule. So I suppose, again, scientifically, if Etsuko is a hybrid, that means that if for some reason she's able to have descendants, then that would be the confirmation that angels and demons are in fact one and the same at the very least, and probably humans too while we're at it. Not a lot of doctors tend to care. Oh, I thought you were going to say you couldn't afford the healthcare, which would also have made sense, by the way, especially for the 60s. Anyway, and besides, even if I could, I can't. Oh, sorry, I didn't finish the sentence. Yeah, I couldn't afford a doctor for a kind. That might have been like a little bit like almost like a slip there, because he said like for her kind, but not for demons specifically.
Demon markings usually appear once you use too much magic and injure your physical form.
That's impossible. I've forbade him from using a magic since he was a baby. And children are famously always obedient. There is no possible way she could have done this. Especially even though I saw her that one time deploying her wings and finding them magically. That doesn't count at all, apparently. They appeared naturally when she was 2, before she could comprehend not to use the magic, I guess.
Could I examine her?
I mean, I think she's 18, right? You can just ask her directly now. Fine.
You've had these for how long?
As long as I can remember. The marks rot her skin, and she's become incredibly fragile. Yeah, it made me cry a lot as a kid.
What does it feel like?
It's kind of this stinging sensation. Like, it burns, but it also freezes at once. Yeah, actually, in one of my old books, I had to, well, I say I had to, it was my own story, but part of it was that one of the narrators, or the POV characters, not really narrators, but one of the POV characters, the first scene that he appears in, he is hatching from his egg, which means that I had to find a way to somehow describe all his sensations from his perspective without any sort of, like indicators like, objects or sensations like recognizing the way that we would, basically. I think I described like cold as like a biting sensation or something, because I guess it, comprehend the idea of biting something as by instinct. I don't know. That was kind of how I went by it, how I did that. And also the fact that all we could see was colors at first before shapes started defining themselves. So everyone got called, from his perspective, was called shapes. So yeah. George the Nebula, my technically youngest ever protagonist.
Well, burning sensations are quite common for demon kind. However, freezing sensations are common for angels. Curiouser and curiouser.
Oh my word. I am on fire today, people.
As for freezing, that's more common for, say it with.
Nah, I don't need to. We don't need to because non-verbal communication, again, fantastic. I mean, yeah, I guess the doctor would work it out. And you know what? Cutting there with Alessandro specifically, like his reaction, is also quite telling, because the last person that found out, the last two people that found out about the hybrids, he killed immediately. Again, with a knee-jerk response from possibly that very gun that he pointed at Andrea when he got slightly close to Etsuko. So the fact that now he's allowed someone to be not only close to Etsuko, but examine her in detail, and that they found out exactly what he feared they would find out, regardless of his connection to her, that's already going to be like, did I make a mistake? Was my knee-jerk response accurate? And it's going to doubt if he should be continuing on like his path of either trust or just general security that Etsuko is going to be all right. And that's fantastic, and all that's done through like the last few looks. That was all non-verbal. Again, I can't stress enough how amazing this show actually is. Apparently somewhat predictable depending on the stars aligning. But that's fine, I predicted pretty much everything was going to happen in Encanto, and I love that movie, so, that's not a bad thing at all, necessarily. And again, it feels very me-coded, so, of course, well, in certain aspects, not like I've ever, considered devolving into, a story involving this line of profession, with the exception, of course, of D&D, where, once again, much like Nathaniel's Wild Magic, that was... that was a decision made by someone else that I then yes-anded after I started playing the character in question. Or I guess playing her again in the new incarnation, because I played her originally, but yeah. So yeah. That was it. And yeah, normally by this point we'd be like halfway through the episode. I was worried that something was going to happen to Yuko, considering that she was getting close, and again, all these other characters seem to go down some sort of terrible path. And she did say, "I'm not going anywhere," which does imply that something's going to happen to her. That being said, I guess the pacing of this didn't really allow that. And I was wondering about that, because that's another thing about this. I said I was going to go back to the idea I presented before, my concern surrounding that, that introducing new characters to feature, and then pointing out like they are related to the songs as well around them, and having that be the repeated formula for the series might come back to bite it. I don't think it's necessarily a problem like in this episode right now, but I can see that, again, we've had 3 episodes so far that follow that kind of formula, if you include episode 2 with Alessandro more specifically. Because Shadow didn't feature at all in this one, despite seemingly being so important as in the last one, which implies that Yuko might also just disappeared or something, or gone to research on her own. I don't know. Or maybe trained under the mob doctors. Because usually like an organized crime syndicate would have a doctor, because they need them. So I don't know. Surely they would be okay with her switching to becoming a nurse or something. Honestly, it doesn't seem like they're in short supply of other girls in her current profession. So I think she'd be fine. Honestly, once you have the series' timelines, it moves around so much that I don't know what is past, present, or whatever. Yeah, that is true. That like the last 2 episodes have shown like 1 year at the beginning, and then it almost like, I don't know if it's like trying to pivot back or something. I don't know if it's meant to be like all in 67, or if it was like a little bit earlier because we flashed back, or if the 67 was the flashback and I just forgot that we got like that far in the timeline. I don't know. It's so yes, that is hard to tell. And again, depending on, I guess, that might be partly because of the format of this, of being like, okay, we're going to use these characters, but we're not going to pretend like they're not around constantly. We're going to say like, okay, they're all around, but we just don't see them all, and like they have like this interactivity that's going to be explored separately rather than all at once. Kind of like, I guess, like a Nolan film or something like that. I suppose is the intention behind it. So I guess those 2 potential issues are working hand in hand right now, and if they continue, it might end up, coming back to bite the series. Considering that, the last episode ended off with an evolving stakes of, okay, the angels are coming, much like the Eagles. But so what are we going to do about that? Can Andrea protect his own? Are they going to try to escape again? Do the Angels have everyone's best interest or not? They probably don't. It's fairly obvious they don't. And all of that, but then all of that gets ignored this time, with the exception of, I guess, Alessandro's his protective streak and what he expects in return for that. So that's one element that's carried over. But I don't know. Maybe like reducing this to 15 minutes kind of like I guess diminish that aspect of it. Maybe this was meant to be like part 1 and part 2 in this of this episode. I don't know exactly. So that's why I say that there's things that are happening right now that aren't so much of an issue, but they could become that if they are left the way that they are right now. You know, but of course, even then, we still have all the stuff I mentioned before. The lighting, the sound effects, the storytelling through sound, which very rarely happens in Gacha. I feel like the people who do that are either the ones who made this video or in this chat right now. But so, and yeah, and like I said, the archetype that Yuko serves, she is definitely a Rachel, and I appreciate that. I would say that most, if not all, series that are this dark in nature would benefit from a Rachel of some kind, if not only for the main characters, but for like the others. That's also partly like why Nathaniel exists to some degree. He's not a Rachel because he's involved with the cast, but I knew that from what we were going to do, that from experience, of course, that everyone was going to pick like somewhat edgy characters with like those kind of backstories, or we're going to be a little bit antagonistic to each other, and and it is worth noting, all the ladies hate each other in Quest of the Rising Sun. So having that's why I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be the upbeat person that kind of like glues everyone together. Even if it's originally I thought it was going to be through like mutual, like everyone finding him annoying, but then afterwards like, oh, everyone finds him endearing. Well, fine, I'll lean into that. Every party needs a heart. I think a heart of the party, and the dark shows include a Rachel, and they ultimately can end up serving the same purpose. Maybe that's like a good documentary like idea, video essay idea for something in the future. I don't know. Again, another one for the back pocket that might not end up getting made, but who knows? Oh well. Include a Sunny, yeah, or just a character that the audience can enjoy. That's another thing. Maybe not even just. I mean, if it's someone that that like the cast can be uplifted by, then that's fantastic. If it's just someone the audience really find endearing, then that's as far as their perception goes, it also kind of makes sense. You've got to have the light and the dark. I know that I'm not exactly I say this is me, but I'm obviously not a very edgy writer. Never have been. I've gone to some dark places before in some literature. I'm not going to lie, or even some videos. But I like to balance them out. If for every like dark moment, there's supposed to be like some aspect of light or some sort of hope. Pandora's jar opens, it lets out all the despair into the world, but there is still some hope left behind in the jar after everything else has entered the world and is causing such devastation. So yeah. As I try edgy writing on the email I'm destined to be, well, that's why I collab with Aiden. I get, that's I get that fix, very much so. I guess technically, yeah, like again, I know it's something I think that's why I think that they chose benefit from that kind of idea, because if it's all. I guess that's one thing psychologically that people will gravitate towards darker stuff because they want to see they want to see characters suffering worse than they are, which I do get. So I guess like uplifting them in that aspect, they would want to be countered by. But if they feel identified with the characters, if they get so invested in them, they would want them to have a break in some way at least. Alternatively, of course, I'm still writing there's something going to happen to Yuko, and much like the couple in episode 2, Alexander gets close to them and they have to die somehow. But either way, I suppose it would work in some aspect, and having those happy emotions, even if they're happy memories, is still something worth holding on to. So yeah, I do love that all. So yeah, another fantastic episode, and didn't suffer too much by being half the length as it normally was. And I suppose that meant that episode 5 could come out much more quickly. So, another week to wait now, I'm afraid, people. But, I'll be back for it. I'll be back for more. And you can definitely put that on as a prediction. So I'm going to make sure that it happens to the best of my ability. So with that, please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters. I'm going to go either at the other half of my dinner and subscribe done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.